the welcome before I play, aren't you? Hey, Mickey, were you planning to do the welcome before I play? Okay. And then she'll catch us. Okay. Yep. No problem. Okay.
Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the Keene Unitarian Universalist Church, or KUUC, as many of us like to call it. My name is Deb McClay, and I have been a member here for over a quarter of a century now. Just sounds cooler when you say it that way. I could tell you about all the committees, board of trustees, and various other ways I've served this church, but what is most important for you to know is that I often make the coffee for our coffee hour, which is right across the hall to my right after our service. And thank you to Chris McDermott for taking that on today with help. Our minister, Rowan Van Ness, is away on parental leave, so today we welcome Mickey Cronin and Mary Hafey as our service leaders. Each week, we assign an ambassador to welcome new visitors and answer any questions you may have about us. This week's ambassador is Carol White. And there she is. I'd like to remind us that we are all ambassadors. We can all help our new friends feel connected by wearing our name tags and seeking them out at coffee hour. We can invite a friend to KUUC, practice our elevator speeches, and spread the word about what UUism in general and KUUC in particular have to offer. As I thought about what I want to carry into this brand new year, I thought about the word love. To me, love is both a feeling and an action. Love is at the center of our new Article 2 graphic with our 6 values surrounding it: justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. Here at KUUC, I have found 7 principles, 6 values, and many inspiring words to live by, with love always at the center. The people of KUUC are like family to me, and I feel that we constantly inspire each other to be our best selves. I know that I will focus on the peaceful, loving, and abundant world I want to help bring about. And I invite you all to join me in that focus by bringing our most loving selves to our everyday interactions. I believe that each one of us can change the world. All are welcome here at KUUC. I invite old friends, brand new friends, and friends we've yet to meet to come and be in community with us. For those friends who are in the sanctuary today, please remember to silence your cell phones so we may all be present for each other. And we'll give a little wave to those who are watching at home on YouTube. And again, I say, you are welcome here.
Good morning, everybody. It's a new month and a new Soul Matters theme, and Mary and I have the opportunity to introduce the Soul Matters themes in a service at the beginning of each month. And this month, our theme is practicing resistance. Resistance is such a personal topic, and today we'll have an opportunity to do some exploration of what that means to us. So rather than a sermon today, I know you're all disappointed, you will be able to share with others this morning during that time. So our friends joining us via live stream will have an opportunity to participate as well, and we will provide more specific instructions when we move into our small groups later on this morning. Our opening words are taken from Unitarian Universalist minister, the Reverend Dr. Michelle Collins, Sacred Descent. Welcome, all who are restless for a world renewed. We come carried by ancestors who refused the silence of despair and dared to sing a new song. Their courage whispers through us still. Today we resist by showing up, together. We resist by keeping faith with what is not yet. Our gathering is itself an act of sacred descent, calling us to rise and unite as co-creators of a freer tomorrow. As Sherry Buskey comes forward to light our chalice this morning, let's say the words in our order of service together. We kindle this flame to remind ourselves of the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment. Please join together, rise in body or spirit, as we sing our opening hymn, which is in the teal hymnal this morning, 1017, Building a New Way.
It's a short intro, and then we'll start right in, so feel free to get ready to sing.
We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. Feeling strong every day. We are building a new way. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. Hate and greed and religion and sin. We are working to be free. We can feed our every need. Start with love, that is the seed. We can feed our every need. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Without peace, this world will die. Peace and freedom is our cry.
Any children that want to participate, please come on forward for our time for all ages. Or those who are young at heart. And can get off the floor if you're sitting on the floor.
Hi, y'all. Okay, the topic today for our Time for All Ages story is One of Us, and the wonderful world that each of us live in, and what each one of us can do for this world. So before we look at the book, do you have some ideas about this? Things that each one of us can do that might make the world even more wonderful than it is? Stand up for justice. That's a good one. Sharing music. That's a great one. I thought of like recycling. We have a little recycling center here that we do to make the world a little bit cleaner. Yeah, so think about that a little bit, and while we read this book, well, I read the book. It's called What a Wonderful World That Each of One of Us Live In. And it's by George David Weiss and Bob Thiel. I think I'm saying that right, I'm not sure. What a wonderful world. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white. The bright, blessed day, the dark, sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world each one of us lives in. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, "How do you do?" They're really saying, "I love you." I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. So what do you think? Did you have any more ideas about things we can do for our wonderful world, each one of us? Plant roses, yeah, and watch them grow. Somebody came up with the idea that we could do an RE project where we could make a home for native bees. Yeah, that might be something we could do for our wonderful world. Okay, if you will sing the children's recessional and we'll sing the kids out.
As I drove over this morning, I thought about joys and concerns and why we do it and where we do it. Joys and concerns are very much a part of worship. As Deb spoke this morning about what it meant to her to be in a faith community where love is at the center, I thought again, why do we do joys and concerns? And we make space as part of worship, not something before or after, but central to worship, so we can lift up the joys we're experiencing or the sorrows that we are holding or concerns that we are holding. And know that in this faith community, though joys are multiplied as other people hold them, and the concerns are held deeply in our hearts. So if this morning you are experiencing a joy to share or a concern to share, please come forward on either side and we'll alternate. And if at the end, if there's anyone for whom getting to the front of the chancel is not doable, I will make space and bring the mic to you. And if the joy or the concern is being held in your own heart right now and not spoken, we will light one additional candle. So I invite you now to come forward to share joys and concerns.
Hi, everybody. Carol Hill here. I'm sure you've noticed that my husband has not been here for a while. He's been struggling with the flu. Stubborn man, did not get a flu shot. But anyway, he's recovering now and actually is upright and taking nourishment. So that's a good thing. And our neighbor Walt, our magic circle, which I love so much, has been struggling lately because our neighbor Walt fell on an icy driveway, fractured his hip and pelvis, and is up at Dartmouth, but he's also upright and taking nourishment. So we are blessed to have these two men back in our lives.
I'm Sherry, and I have many joys, many concerns. I just wanted to share this one joy. It's really kind of a surprise joy, if you will. On New Year's Eve at about 10:30 p.m., this phone call came in. It's like, who could this be? You know, New Year's Eve, and I hear this voice. I hear, Sherry, it's Teresa. Like, what? These were my neighbors on one of the adjacent streets. We're very close. We used to do things like drop off gift bags at the holidays for each other on a surprise basis, right? Not say anything about it. And she moved in the last year or so back to where her home country, El Salvador. So she said, I just wanted to say hi and Happy New Year. And it was just basic. So I get this phone call from El Salvador. Wow. And I'm happy to hear they're okay. I'm happy to hear that they're thriving. And they might be coming back. She'd like her boys to go to school here. From what I've heard. It's just a fun little story. It's just like, I just cried. I couldn't help it.
Hi, I'm another Carol. My joy is on the winter solstice was the 26th anniversary of my son's adoption.
I'm Carl. I have two things. One is joy, gratitude to January 1st, I was sober for 20 years. And my gratitude is that this congregation has been a huge part of that, having a spiritual home has kept me grounded in a way that I needed. The other, I'm not sure where the line between joy and sorrow actually falls, but my cousin on Christmas Eve, who is married to Bill Fowler, that some of you may know, the piano tuner, on Christmas Eve they were celebrating and she had a heart attack and died. And so joyful, I guess, to be with your family, as she had a wonderful life. She was 72, but it still hits my heart. So.
Morning. My name is Gwen, and the joy is not that I wasn't here last week, but the joy is where I was. I went to go visit my sister and my brother-in-law and my two nieces, which I haven't done in a very long time. Had the best visit ever, and so I'm very happy I got to do that.
Hello, my name is Devin. This is my first time here, but I do want to mention on the topic of joy and sorrow is that while I can't distinguish two without thinking too hard, I want to recognize that I can also distinguish when they're absent. So for me, I celebrate the aspect of having both as it shows change. For a lot of times you can't have joy without sorrow to help give it meaning. For often both are just contrasts to one point. I want to celebrate the fact that life still has both for me. For when you have neither, it's apathy, and that's an emptiness that is not fun.
I'm Charlotte, and I'm 88. Ain't that great? I'm different. I am the third of 4 children, and I've always been different than every other kid in my house. And I like myself the way I am. Not everybody likes that, but that's how I am. And you might like my shirts, but not everybody likes my shirts, but they know who I am. And have a good year. Oh, right. He said the first one. I thought he said.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Butcher. I was back and forth between joys and concerns so much I wrote it down. Concern, the heating system in this building. And we had a significant leak yesterday. Joy, John Cronin found it before it could have been a whole lot worse. And the other joy is that we have a wonderful property committee, my Larry, and John Cronin and Carl spent much of the day yesterday, and our son Galen, mopping up, cleaning up. And that we have even more wonderful people on the property committee dealing with the whole, figuring out what we're going to do about the whole system, including Paul, and who brings wonderful expertise and enthusiasm to the process, and Carolina, who has COVID, another concern. Yes. So, COVID and flu are going around. Get your vaccines and take care of yourselves.
Is there anyone who would like the microphone brought to them? So I light one last candle, representing the joys and concerns that we are still holding in our hearts, and remind you that we are all part of this community, and it's how we hold each other together.
Now it's time for our offering. If you are visiting us for the first time, please let the basket pass you. Your presence is our gift. May the offering be gratefully received. Let's say together our offering dedication that's in our order of service. We dedicate these gifts in service of our mission to actively create compassionate community and work for a fair and peaceful world. Our meditation this morning comes from the Reverend Dr. Michelle Collins' Prayer for Communities Practicing Many Forms of Resistance. Spirit of connections and love, bless the many ways we resist. Those who march and organize, those who cook, donate, and write, those who tend to the weary, who pray or hold vigil, those who say, "Rest now, I'll take this shift." Let this wide circle honor every offering, visible or unseen. May we release the myths that define resistance in certain ways, and remember instead the truth of shared power. May this be our prayer, to sustain one another's courage until quiet faith and public fire become one movement of love. Let's be silent for a moment together. In just a moment, we will be moving into groups of 6 or less to share our thoughts on the practicing resistance discussion questions that are in your order of service. As I mentioned earlier, resistance is a very personal thing, and hopefully these questions will have an opportunity for you to consider your relationship with resistance and share that with others. If you're joining us on the live stream, please locate the link to a Zoom meeting. It should be right below the screen, and David has special instructions there for you to help find that link. That will take you to a small group that will be hosted by Mary Hafey. We're going to give you a minute to join the group now. For those of you in the sanctuary, we'll be moving into groups of 6. If you've been working or you've done this before with people that you know and are very familiar with, see if you can find some people that maybe you are less familiar with and to use this as an opportunity to get to know people a little bit better. We want to make sure that you are aware of the time. We have about 20 minutes to have this conversation, and that sometimes that time can just fly by. So if you just want to keep an eye on that, we want to come back together in about 20 minutes. But let's take a look at these questions. As a kid, did you resist the rules or did you follow them? How might you see an echo of that earlier self in your life today? And then what song, book, or movie has inspired or supported your resistance effort? So there are chairs on the sides. For those of you that are in the sanctuary, please feel free to access them. And let's move now into our small group. Let's take another minute or two to bring our conversations to a conclusion and move back into our seats if you so choose. Let's come back together. One of the advantages of leading worship is that you get to pick the hymns. And if you, in your small group, had an opportunity to share a song or book or movie that inspired or supported your resistance effort, I can share with you one of mine, and that is hymn 149. It is one of the most powerful hymns in American history. It brings me to tears every time. Lift Every Voice and Sing is identified as the Black National Anthem. It was written by James Weldon Johnson and set to music by his brother, J. Rosamond Johnson. So please rise in body or spirit and sing hymn number 149, Lift Every Voice and Sing. As Sherry comes forth to extinguish our chalice this morning, let's say together the words in our order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts with the world until we are together again. Our closing words this morning are from the Reverend Tess Baumberger. But I did want to make one note, and I don't know if you had a chance to notice the quote that was at the top of the order of service this morning from Sister Joan Chittister. You are not required to save the world, but you are required to save your corner of it. And I think that as we define what that corner of our world is, it sort of gives a lot of meaning to our extinguishing the chalice words as we go forward. Reverend Tess Baumberger writes, "May we go forth to meet oppression with freeing justice, hatred with healing love, and despair with unfailing faith. May it be so. Amen." Have a wonderful week, everybody.